Hello boys and girls, and welcome to this review of the Tactacam Zoom 5.0. I will go through the details of this camera, what comes in the box, what you need to get yourself, a little bit about the mounting on the rifle and on the bow, and then I'll show you some footage that I shot with the camera just to give you an idea of how it's working. So the idea of the Tactacam is that it is actual zoom. This is not fisheye as with, for instance, a GoPro. So when you hit the button, it instantly records at preset zooms. There could be 4 or 8 times zoom, which gives you that close-up that you need for relatively close contact hunting. So, what comes in the box is the camera, the lid to put in the end, where you insert the battery. It comes only with one battery. You can buy separate extra batteries, which is, I think, a very good idea. And then it comes with 2 different sized Allen keys, and why they have to be different sized, I have no idea. It's really a stupid thing, because if you throw one of them away, you won't be able to change the mount of the camera. So why they didn't make this the same size, I have no idea. Then this is a gun package. There's also a bow package, but in the gun package, it comes with a weaver mount that you could put on a weaver. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And then it comes with a different mount with a sort of roundish mount that you can fit on the barrel of your gun. You can probably fit it on small optics, and then you can fit it, and I'll show you how to do that, on the stabilizer of the bow. So I don't really see the necessity of the bow stabilizer camera mount. You can get a specific mount that you screw into the stabilizer, screw instead of the stabilizer, and then you insert the camera in that. It's a good idea, but I mean, this is just as easy. And then it comes with a small bag, which is, I think, very practical, because then you can put these bad boys in them and not throw it away. And a small tissue, not for your nose, but obviously for the lens. Where did it go? To polish the lens. So there we go. From the bottom, this is the mode indicator and the Wi-Fi indicator. So this will tell you what preset mode the camera is in. So it comes in 3 modes, and if you forget it, it's written on the inside of the lid here. So it says that the first one is 4K, so it's 4K, I think 3 times zoom as default. The next one is 8 times zoom, also 4K, and the last one is slow motion, where it goes up to 120 frames per second. So that allows you to, for instance, shoot an arrow and you can follow it, and we'll see how that looks in a minute. So it comes with preset settings, and you can, I believe, change these. I haven't done it because these are quite fitting for me, but you can change them. There's also an app that comes with it, which allows you to control the camera from the app, and you can real-time stream it, and you can download footage from the camera. This next button, the record and power button, if you hold this button for 3 seconds, it will power on and immediately start recording in whatever setting it was in. So that means if I change the setting to slow motion, it will start in slow motion. It's pretty practical, because often you find yourselves in a situation where you need to have a zoom shot, or it's a very close shot, so you want to immediately get that slow motion arrow going through the animal. But it's up to you. You can easily change these. I'll show you how to do that.
I'm gonna execute a button hook pattern super slow-mo. Let's see that in an instant replay.
There's a Wi-Fi indicator. If you press and hold this button, the Wi-Fi will turn. Sorry, if you press and hold this button, the Wi-Fi will turn on, and you can connect to your phone quite easily. And finally, you get battery indicators when you're loading the camera with the battery, loading the battery, and also it shows you how much you have left. So this is the battery. The battery goes in here very easily. The lid is turned on. You can see small dots here. You turn it on and you go to the lock position, and then on the back of the camera you go and lock it so it doesn't come off. I have experienced that when you need to take this off to load it, and when I moved the camera while loading, it was sort of, the battery would sort of pop out a little bit. So sometimes you need to put an elastic band, which is really annoying. I don't know why they did it this way. So be careful about when you load it that the battery doesn't jump out. So you can't load it while moving because the battery will come out. Another thing that you need to be very careful about, when you transport this camera, take out the battery, open this, unlock it, and pull out the battery. I had this in my bag, and when I took it out, it was completely void of battery. And what happened probably was that I pushed the record button at some point, and then it recorded 3 hours of absolutely nothing in my bag. On the back here, you have 3 slots. You have the battery, you have the micro SD card, I'll get back to that. You have the mini USB, not micro USB. This is quite old school. I'm not sure why they did a mini and not a micro, because it's quite, again, if you throw away this cable, you'll have a zillion micro USB cables, but you won't probably have any mini USB. And then finally, a micro HDMI cable to connect directly to your TV if you want to. When it comes to the micro SD card, it's very important that it's 2 things. It has to be class 10, so you can see on, well, you probably can't see it here, but on the package it needs to say class 10, and it also has to be U3, because otherwise it's not fast enough. So class 10 and U3 if you want those really good shots, and also the slow motion. You just pop this thing in here and it locks in, and that's it. And then you lock back on and lock it on the back. So if I push this, and I'll show you the footage, put 1, 2, 3, it becomes green and it starts recording. So here I am. So you can see it's flashing, indicating that it's recording. You can see it's blue, which is the first setting. And you can see the battery life, so it has full battery. It goes about, I think, 2.5 hours with a full battery. If I push this again, it will be on standby. It will still be lit. In, I think, 3 minutes it will turn off just to save battery. But for now, it's still lit. So if I want to, if the video comes, just push this and it starts recording again. No, it didn't, so I push it again. There you go. And I'm not sure you can hear it, but I feel a sort of vibration in the camera. You can see me. So I know also that it's on. Push it again, it turns off. If I push this button, it changes to the next setting, and if I push it again, it changes to the next again. Now it becomes green. So you can see these different settings. You don't need to remember what they are because they just have different colors. So I'm going to show you how to mount this bad boy on different weapons, and for that purpose I brought, this is the rifle I use for driven hunts. It's a very simple piece of machinery. It's a Mauser M18 with 1:4 Nikon Pro Staff 7 scope on it. And it has a weaver mount, which is very practical. So I could mount this here on the scope, I could mount this on the barrel, and I could mount it a little bit on the side, because then it gives you also the shot of the barrel, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm just going to show you how to mount it here, and we'll take the bow afterwards. So first we've got the Tactacam and we have the Weaver mount. And notice that when this is level, this is a little bit turned. So you need to make sure that the camera is level with the Weaver mount. So you insert this in here. Make sure it's level with the mount so that when the rifle is pointing that way, the camera will also be horizontal. That seems about right. Then use a small Allen key to tighten this. And I think this is a little bit unpractical. Why didn't they just make it finger screws, really good finger screws with locks? I mean, they could do that. It's just a little bit old-fashioned. We all have these Allen keys lying around. I'm not even sure if this is inch or centimeters, but I mean, they work fine, obviously. Then on the scope, it just goes. You slide it on here, maybe.
1 hour later.
So I had to unscrew the entire thing to squeeze it underneath the scope. But there you go. So you have the scope and you have the camera next to it. And it works pretty good. So if you see it from the side, you have the scope here. Obviously I'm right-handed, so I like to keep my rifle like this, and when something comes I just press, so I had to press that, turned on anyway. I just pressed it for a second. But now it's filming. Oh, the animal's coming, up with the gun, boom, boom, boom. That's it. It didn't come after all, just press pause and it will stay that way for 3 minutes. If nothing happens, it will turn off. If I don't want to film anymore, I don't want it to be on standby, I just push it 3 seconds and it's off again. So pretty simple, works very well. I'm gonna show you 2 different scenes. Well, actually the same hunt, 2 animals that I shot. The first one was a fox that I saw coming sneaking in the low woods. I just saw something white and orange, turned on the camera, got ready, and out he came, popped his head out, and I shot him. He stayed just there. The other one was a roe deer, female roe deer coming. I heard the deer coming, and she didn't see me. She just went sort of parallel, and despite that she was maybe 50 meters when I first saw her, it's quite good footage. I followed her, and as she jumped the road, I shot her, and she was laying dead in the bushes. And there's no way I would have gotten that shot with a GoPro, only because I had the 8x zoom.
Later that same evening.
This is the other mount. This is a sort of universal mount that goes on almost anything. So pop it in here, tighten the screws, same Allen key, yeah. So what I could do now is mount this on the barrel if I wanted. It'd be just fine. I could put it on the side if I like. Sorry, I could put it on the side if I like, or up here. I use a silencer, so it's a good thing for me to have a little bit away from the barrel, but obviously that's quite possible. Another very good possibility, I think, is on the bow. This is a Hyperforce with a Hoyt stabilizer, and I like this very much, and I don't want to change this. I like these little rubber thingies, I don't know why. But I'm going to mount it on the stabilizer, and we're going outside to take a few shots with it, and we'll see how that works. And this again, I mean, why 2 different Allen keys? This is the large one. Just going to open this up a little bit. Goes all the way through. See if I can squeeze it on there. No, a little bit more. There you go. Now, so there we go. That does it. So I'm gonna give it a few shots with the 3x zoom 4K, with the 8x zoom 2.7K, and then with the slow motion feature, which is 3x zoom, but also with 130 frames per second. Less resolution, but more frames. So it's recording, it's green, first arrow, 3x zoom. And you drop the camera. Even if you don't want to, you drop the camera. Next setting, which is the 8x zoom. Push record, and it's recording. We're recording, 8x zoom. Fell off, still recording. I think I dropped the camera a little bit, and you do that. Atlas fell off, still recording. I think I dropped the camera a little bit, and you do that. And you shouldn't probably, I guess, hold the bow too steady or too hardly, because then just make a bad shot. So, new mode. So this should be the slow motion mode. Slow motion, 3K, 3x zoom. Push and hold. It's completely off. So back inside and just had a look at the footage. I think it works really well. I think you get good resolution with the 4K. I think also you can see that the resolution of this camera is also a 4K camera, and it's just a better lens. So it's not just the resolution, it's also the lens. So this is an action cam. It's an action cam with a zoom. It's great for hunting and filming. It works well. It's easy to maneuver. You don't fuck up too many buttons, but it's still not supreme quality. Thanks for watching, guys. If you are interested, you can follow me on YouTube and on Instagram. It's MikRoHunt with a K. You can see my previous hunts, and you can follow all the hunts to come. Thanks for watching.